Hello people of the internet, welcome to episode 16 of Paint to Life, the YouTube channel where I take tiny plastic miniatures, throw some acrylic paint on them, and breathe life into them with storytelling so you might learn something new on the subject or perhaps take the finished product and use in your own campaign. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the content, my storytelling. If you do, please like and subscribe below as I'm trying to grow the channel. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back friend. I'm Atank. Let's get painting. Alright, last week I painted the Modrones from the plane of Mechanus, the story of a monodrone and duodrone pair who chased down and destroyed an agent of chaos in their realm of law. If you missed that episode, give it a check out right there. I strongly suggest you do before the animal rights activists ask me to take it down. Today we're back with dragons, with the bronze dragon in particular. Despite their good nature, bronze dragons are quite fierce in appearance, with 4 large horns protruding on each side of their head. Most of them have a bronze reflective metallic color to their scales, with the tips a kind of a sea green in color. Bronze dragons possess the ability to alter their form into any humanoid or animal form that they so choose. They often go out of their way to help, such as rescuing humans from a shipwreck or a dangerous foe. And in the event that they do this, they'll typically change form into that of a human so that whoever it helps doesn't actually know they were helped by a bronze dragon in the first place. They would never seek payment for this assistance, as it's just part of their nature. A friendly dolphin, an eager sailor, an adventurous diver looking for sunken treasure. There's a chance you might have encountered a bronze dragon in your travels and never even realized it. Well, bronze dragons are fascinated with battle, especially against evil enemies. They have very strong moral compunctions against killing or harming any living creature, unless absolutely necessary. They prefer to relocate a foe somewhere out of place where it won't be able to hurt anything else. However, if pushed into a corner, they can be ferocious combatants with a lightning breath, which also functions underwater, and tearing things apart with its strong forearms and hind leg claws. Oh, and in addition to that lightning breath, they can also produce a cone of repulsion energy, which acts like a force push, which basically knocks everything back a certain amount of distance from the dragon. These dragons represent justice in any form. They always seek justice as best they can and can't abide to see creatures being treated with cruelty of any sort. The older the dragon, the more pronounced their desire for justice becomes. Bronze dragons mate for life, and they take their duties as a mate very seriously. They will have protected their eggs and their wormlings at any cost. Bronze wormlings love to swim in the ocean and frolic in much the same manner as young dolphins would. As I said already, you might have encountered a bronze dragon before and just never realized it. But if you do encounter one in its true dragon form, make sure you give it the respect that such a creature deserves. But you don't really have anything to worry about unless you and your party have been, a little nefarious like my parties sometimes are. In which case you're probably in trouble. But I will say one thing though that you should be aware of. Laws and traditions vary from region to region, from customs to customs. And these dragons being the epitome of justice, well, let's just say that sometimes justice is in the eye of the beholder. You might want to consider that when dealing with a bronze dragon. But who is our bronze dragon? Luskan, also known as City of Sails. It's a port town frequented by pirates, thieves, and other disreputable folk interested in money. Behind the walls of the city is a tavern of ill repute known as Buccaneer's Den. The den is known as a hideaway for murderers, thieves, pirates, and other ruffians. A jar on the bar has a label on it that says teeths. It's lost and found for teeth. And it is here, on that one cold fall night, the door would open to reveal Captain Wakefield Dead Eyes Barlow, a well-known pirate with a large, stocky frame, face full of beard, and the large, unforgiving eyes that gave him his name. The hushed conversations that accompanied his entrance were quickly forgotten, and side conversations picked up again.
How many of you has ever heard the name Kalina before?
The bar once again gets real quiet as Captain Barlow strolls from table to table, sizing everyone up. Kalina, Lady of the Blue, a young female pipes up. She's a great bronze dragon, lairs not too far from here, and has been making it her personal mission to snuff out all piracy from here to Waterdeep. I am Lydia of the 409ers, she said, and she came down on our ship with another, just as big, her mate perhaps. They offered me and my crew a chance at redemption for all of us who would lay down our weapons and promise to never again return to the sea to plunder. And then the beast picked our boat right out of the water, flew us 200 miles north to the sea of moving ice, where they set our boat down on a giant berg. I offered myself to the Frost Maiden Oral to see me safely home. She took from me what she wanted. Lydia holds up a once frostbitten hand that now has 3 fingers instead of 5. Captain Barlow says again, "Who among you would like to see the profits from your hauls tripled and your losses eradicated?" A man in his early 40s turns around from the bar. "I am Francis, aka Pretty Boy Offer. At least, I used to be called that." The man's entire left side of his face is a nightmare, too terrible to look at. A hole on the side of his head where his ear once was, no eyebrows, a droopy eyelid, and a nose, half missing, scarred so deep to the tip of his skull. We had been raiding whalers, and had captured and were towing 2 of their boats. We knew this Kalina was in the area. So, we switched places with the whalers and put them all aboard our vessel with a small crew to keep them in line and imprisoned. When she arrived, she descended on the whaler's deck and released us and told us we were free to go. We made sail with such great haste, but we had no chance. Once our duplicity was discovered, she flew overhead and strafed us with lightning. The frail boat caught on fire, and the barrels of whale oil they had been harvesting below deck ignited, turning the ship into a raging inferno. Did you know that when covered in burning whale oil, seawater doesn't put out the flames? It burns like Kasuth himself. Wakefield's Deadeye Barlow puts his hand on Francis's shoulder. "I have a vessel, the Dauntless, docked at Dragon Beach, and I'm putting together a crew with one sole purpose." "What's that purpose? To be stranded? Left to die?" Another man in his early 20s, eating soup at a table, speaks out. "I was privateering with Shepard, the Sembian, not 2 months gone. He had a claim just like yours. 6 ballista on that ship, blow through any dragon that got within 2,000 feet of our vessel. I was at that ballista when she came, diving from the sky like a bolt from Talos's hammer. My aim was true. I fired for her heart, and she casually snatched the barbed arrow out of the sky as if I had heaved it with my own strength in her general direction. She destroyed all of our ballistas, then snapped our mast in 2. She left us floating on the ocean with nothing but Umberlee's currents to guide us. Yes, I hear you all. But I have with me an invention from the gnomes in Lantan, a device made of iron which they call cannon, that is powered by the inventive black powder that explodes like dragon fire when mixed with flame. It is capable of producing enough force to launch a 20-pound ball of iron, the speed at which no creature could possibly defend against. And I plan to use it against this Kalina, who has also wronged me and been a thorn in my side as much as she has been in yours. Now, who is going to skulk about this bar for the rest of their lives, dying an old man in their bed? And who is going to come with me?" Less than 10 days later, Deadeyes and a full complement of 40 pirates were departing Luskan aboard the Dauntless to hunt down and destroy the bronze dragon Kalina. A test fire of the cannon they had in their possession upon a floating whale carcass they came about was extremely satisfying as viscera rained down upon the ship. On the 7th day at sea, the Dauntless came across a floating dinghy. It was flying the colors of House Kurth based in Luskan. There were many sharks visible in the water just below the surface. The danger was indeed real. Sensing a potential trap, Captain Barlow sent Pretty Boy out on their own skiff to investigate while the remainder of the crew remained ready for combat, cannon primed and ready to fire. As they approached, there was one lone dwarf on the dinghy, looking disheveled and sunburnt. "What day in it? By Moradin's beard, I'm rescued. Please let me come with ye. I'm an able seaman. Ship Kurth of Luskan will pay handsomely for my return and the information that I gathered." The dwarf explained how his vessel was attacked, destroyed, and left to sink just 2 days ago by a bronze dragon. The survivors secured, they rowed back to the Dauntless. "Who is this?" asked Captain Barlow. As they were explaining the dwarf's situation, the color drained from his face. "What sorcery is this? This inn, Captain Barlow?" "I watched the man torn to bits by the sharks as he rowed the mast down into the water." The horrified crew looked on as their captain's eyes shimmered and changed from their flat, dead look to a glowing green. His pale skin shone brightly metallic in flashes of tawny metal. A blast of force suddenly emitted from the captain's mouth, which caused a great many of the pirates to get knocked overboard into the shark-infested waters below. Those that didn't fell prone, and when they got back up, bore witness to the end of the transformation from the human form to that of the bronze dragon, standing on the bow of the Dauntless in all its splendor. The great beast seized the cannon in its claws and took to the air, the screams of the men in the water fading from view as it flew higher and higher. Once at about 2,000 feet, she turned about and dropped the 2-ton cannon, which fell until it slammed into the deck and through the hull, shattering the boards like twigs. It may have been entrapment, but no matter. These pirates were doomed. For all of their victims, their justice had been served by Kalina, Lady of the Blue. Well, that's it for episode 16, Paint to Life. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm not going to lie, this one took a long time to put together and edit. I don't remember what it was, so I hope you enjoyed it. Introducing Kalina, Lady of the Blue, for the shelf. Guys, I release videos every Saturday with the accompanying painting video, which runs up there. Comes out the subsequent Tuesday. You can go to painttolife.com to check that out, as well as my Instagram page, where I'll have a work in progress Wednesday, kind of a snapshot of where I'm going, so you can kind of check up on that if you're interested. Please like and share and subscribe if you haven't yet already. It helps support the channel and keep me motivated to make these videos, which I most certainly do enjoy. And you should consider painting. I say this all the time, but it's worth a shot. Give it a try. You can head down to your friendly local gaming store and go in, and they have little sets with a brush, a couple of base paints, and you can grab a mini for relatively inexpensive and give miniature painting a try as a hobby. It's something you might find interesting, and if you do, make sure you let them know that GMA Tank sent you. For now, it's late. I have to go to sleep. I hope you all have a great evening, and don't forget, folks, wash your hands. As I said, you may have met... Oh my God, shadow people.
Okay, but I didn't want to sing.